Welcome, lords and ladies, kings and queens, my noble court, to the Cosmic Archive, a living legendarium of a million worlds. I am Lore Master Leonis, your humble scribe and archivist and curator of this fine establishment. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the first video in the Penguincjp / Fun with Phoenix trilogy. We reacted to the most recent one last week. At time of recording, I put that up yesterday, but reacted to the most recent one last week, and that was called Making Dreams Together, and it was sort of an appreciation video / sequel to everything that was happening before. I had the opportunity to talk with Penguin a bunch, actually. This morning, he sent me a message about the video I did react to last week, Making Dreams Together, and told me about some of the stuff in there. So one of the things I remember mentioning was I didn't know what was going on with the blue crystal girl that came out when Penguin used his crystal powers to summon her. Apparently that's based off of a what if Roll got the superpowers instead of Rock at the beginning of the Mega Man story. Instead of Rock being upgraded into Mega Man, Roll gets upgraded into Mega Man. For those who might not be super familiar with the Mega Man lore, Mega Man was not always Mega Man / Rockman, as he is called in Japanese. Dr. Light made two robots that were kind of more like kids / helpers to him, and those were Rock and Roll. Yes, they're named after rock and roll music. And Rock was just sort of a normal helper bot. He wasn't anything special. He didn't have superpowers. He didn't have a gun arm or any of that. When Wily started causing problems, Light was put in a position where he felt like, because Light and Wily worked together before all of the stuff with Wily going rogue. Wily was not always a directly evil character. Wily had worked together with Light. Wily had done... I mean, he's always been an evil character, and that he's always had a very dark idea of what he wanted to do with robots in the world. But he used to be someone that the people of the world in general respected as a very he was also a very intelligent scientist. He wasn't known like Light was known, but he was someone in that sphere within their world. I don't remember what the exact story is that caused him and Light to have a falling out, but Wily decides to take over the world with robots, and Light's like, this is my friend, this is the guy I worked with, this is the guy that to some degree I enabled. I have to fix this. And so he gives Rock an upgrade into Mega Man to go fight Wily's robots. And so this crystalline blue character with the L on her head from Mavericks Detected, from Making Dreams Together, was based off of a what if scenario that Penguincjp made in a previous video, where he said, well, what if he gave that power to Roll, the other one of his two robotic children, instead of to Rock? What would that future look like? And so that sort of character, that blue crystalline design with the L, that was something out of that video, out of that future. Told me that was the first one he ever used AI to enhance. So that's pretty cool. He also gave me a little bit of background on Mavericks Detected, We Don't Care, and Making Dreams Together as a whole. In that, Mavericks Detected is his first full AI animated video. And apparently a lot of people in the fandom sphere of Mega Man and Pokemon, that they were very disappointed, and they said a lot of very mean things about this. I imagine we could probably look down into the comments and see some of it. I don't know. Well, it sounds like... Well, I don't see it here, but that's kind of probably the most relevant ones. But the lore was he made this, and then he got a lot of hate. He got a lot of hate from the anti-AI crowd. And so he and Phoenix made We Don't Care to sort of show that regardless of what this anti-AI crowd says to them, they are going to make what they want to make. They're going to make what they enjoy making, and you're not going to stop them by calling them mean names, which is where the concept of you may hurt our bodies but not hurt our hearts from Making Friends Together, Making Dreams Together, comes from. So this is sort of the video that spawns all of this, and Making Friends Together was sort of a response / sequel. So I'm curious if Cancel Pig shows up here because he did tell me this is sort of his. It was this included a general opinion of sort of where he thought on the AI subject. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm wondering if Cancel Pig is here in this original one or if it gets added in later. I am wondering if this video will show us where the characters were right before making dreams together, or if that specific battle will be shown in We Don't Care. I don't know yet. We're about to find out though. So as usual, we're going to do a minimal react and a maximal react. I have already yapped for over 7 minutes, so let's get on with our minimal react. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, you will not get the minimal react. I'm very, very sorry. But I do post the full videos with minimal and maximal reacts included on X and on Rumble when I can. For some reason, the last time I tried to upload on X, it gave me a problem and wouldn't let me do that. But I'll see if I can figure that out. It might be that I have to upload it on Rumble and then just X will just be where I post an announcement. But if nothing else, I do have a Rumble channel and I do put all these videos up on Rumble the same day that I put them up on YouTube. Rumble takes a significantly longer time to process everything, so it's not always available as quickly as it is on YouTube, but it's all there and you can view the videos and watch them without the minimal react cutout. So now I've yapped for 8 minutes, so let's get on with it and watch the minimal react, shall we? Dedicated to Skybrows and the Skybrows and everyone else fighting for our freedom. That was much quicker, very different. I should have clocked that Kirsch was the pineapple swinging bitch, but I did not because Kirsch has pineapples in her design. Oh, I feel dumb for that one. I watch enough Kirsch, I should know that. All right, what does he say here? This is something I've been wanting to make for months now, and it's finally finished. This song and video mean a lot to me, and I hope that others can find meaning in it too. Special thanks to my buddy Phoenix that helped me make the lyrics. Check his channel out here. In the year 21XX, Mavericks have started their attack on Abel City, their goal to disrupt order and cause their sixth sense of liberation. The Maverick Hunters are sent out to stop them, but when they aren't enough, they find help from others who are fighting their own battles. Who is the wizard? Because I don't see... Because we see Skybrows, Asmon, and Powder exist in their world already. They're part of the Hunters. Fun with Phoenix as well. It is when the wizard shows up that Kirsch, Mia... Eradication, Leaflet. Oh, Rev was in there. Chibi reviews. I did not catch Chibi reviews. And Nux. They all come through the portal after the wizard shows up. Wait a minute. I think I know who this is. He didn't include him in the cameo list, so it might be an original character as well. I'm not sure. To me, when I think of the scepter or staff with a gaming controller on it, I think of the Control-Alt-Delete comics and the King of Winterine thing, or Winterine-Miss. That's what they called it. The King of Winterine-Miss. But this was very fun to watch, so let's go through it with a maximal react and take a look at what we can pull out of it. For a 4-minute video, that felt like it went by very fast. So yes, I think this is directly happening prior to the events of Making Dreams Together. Penguin did tell me that Making Dreams Together is a sequel to this video. So I think I Don't Care might be like a sort of maybe a little bit in between. I don't know. We'll see when we watch it. That's on Fun with Phoenix's channel. I'm not 100% sure where that fits or if it fits into the timeline. It might be its own separate thing because it was a response to the hate he was getting for making this video. But we do see Hasigma. We do see Cancel Pig. We see a bunch of other characters. Still don't know who the guy with the red eye is in Making Dreams Together. He does not appear here. But this is interesting. I wonder if the wizard is representative of someone specific, because it does seem like he has a deep respect for Skybrows, but maybe he was introduced to Skybrows and the Skybrows community through this person. I think it could be the real fake wizard, but it could be someone else. I'm not sure. He doesn't include them here in the list of cameos. And while they mention the wizard, he doesn't give the wizard's name here, so I'm not 100% sure who he is. Maybe in the comments somebody might show up. I'm not, because he had another character from, I think they called it Obsidian Elf or Obsidian Wizard or something like that in the last one. And he had a very wizard thing. He was like obsidian black. That wizard was like an obsidian black colored wizard. Like his skin looked like the salamanders from Warhammer 40k. And his channel was like, he put out music from around the world, like compilations of different music from different countries and cultures, which is really, really cool. But anyway, let's get this maximal react going and see what's going on here. So this is his crew starting out. We saw this guy. This guy looks much more like he's pixelated two-dimensional now. In this one, this guy was in the last one too. He was guarding the room that Penguincjp was in. This guy showed up and got crushed, and I think these two were attacked by the cutesy Maverick in the next one, in the one we reacted to last week. So this is kind of where they're at now. This guy still gives me Beautiful Joe vibes. And then we've got Skybrows himself here as a Reploid. He appears first here. He also appeared in the video we reacted to last week, Making Dreams Together. So this is what he looks like here. I actually really like this outfit, this sort of military thing. I love, you might be able to tell because of my own design, I love epaulets. I love epaulets with little things hanging down from them. I like me the epaulets. Also sort of like this design for the lapels. And I love the aviator cat. Those are all like really cool. Here we actually see more normal everyday people being affected by what the Mavericks are doing. I thought this was a Maverick slash for a minute. It's just a light. Also, Penguin explained to me, I didn't mention this earlier, Penguin explained to me that the sort of political bent in this video is less about left-leaning politics versus right-leaning politics, and it's more about the anti-AI crowd versus the pro-AI crowd. So that's more where the bent is actually coming from. So these Mavericks represent more of the anti-AI group, including woke people, but anti-AI is also something embraced by a portion of the right. So it's not as black and white as that. So the Mavericks are more representative of those who hate AI and do not want to see it to prosper. And the Hunters are more emblematic of people who support AI and support the sort of prospering with the use of it. Again, these characters really do strike me as more like the classic Mavericks from Mega Man. Although I am curious, based on their designs, if they're representative of anyone. I can't really read what this says, but the fact he has a hat on like this leads me to believe this might be representative of I think it says he didn't get the hate yet when he put this out, that the Mavericks in this video are probably more representative of groups of people, like certain types of anti-AI people. So like the Cancel Pig is very obviously representative of like the sort of LGBTQ, trans ideology, you have no place in this space sort of characters. I'm wondering what the other ones are sort of representative of.
We will cause disorder. We will cause chaos.
We will cause disorder, we will cause chaos. See, I still, my brain still thinks of this as like just generally leftist. But I can see where he's coming from here too with the AI argument, is if they can cause enough disorder to get people to sort of step away from AI or look at AI with like a shunning idea, then they can prevent people from possibly using AI at the individual level. My opinion on that is that is very, very, very dangerous, because if you stop the normal everyday people of the world from using AI, then the people that will have access to it and will use it, by the way, and they will not use it for cool videos like this. They will to some degree. They'll make propaganda with it, but they will use it for far worse things, is the elites. You'll end up with only sort of the elite people having access to AI at this level. And if only they have access, only they get to decide how it's used. That's something that's super duper dangerous. This is already here. It is already publicly available. You need to keep it publicly available. You cannot let a small group of individuals with an ideological or political goal take over the use of AI like this, because if they do, they will use it to strip freedoms, and you can't even use it against them. So we need to keep AI something that everybody has access to.
Wanna stop this ride?
So this has to be Hasigma. As I said in the video before, one of the things I find interesting is he kept like this design here, for example. This looks very much like Sigma's arms. This sort of shoulder pad and the armor design is very reminiscent of Sigma, including this bit that flows out in the back. Sigma also has a very human head. I think he's bald, but he has a very human head in most of his forms. So that this takes a lot of design from Sigma, from the actual Mega Man games.
Why don't you just try it?
I don't remember if Sigma has this, the red thing here. I don't know if he ever has face painty looking things.
We will have no truth. We will have no justice.
That's an interesting line too. We will have no truth, we will have no justice. I do remember him saying this video was more his general opinion on the political situation and the problem of wokeness. And so this one might have a little bit more of a left versus right bent to it than Making Dreams Together. But I want to try to keep the spirit of what he told me this morning, which is that it's more about anti-AI versus pro-AI, and not assume that this is political in the left versus right degree. I don't want to assume things about it. I feel bad having misidentified that in the previous video, because I do not want to propagate actual misinformation about what people are saying, what they're trying to tell people about. So I want to make sure that I do properly represent what's being said while I'm reacting to it. At the same time, I want to give my own thoughts about it. I do feel like this will have no truth, will have no justice definitely does feed into the sort of leftist, the hyper leftist ideology. I should say not everyone on the left is an unreasonable douche. There are people who believe in progressive values that don't believe in a lot of the more recent progressive insistences that they've put out. I have a friend who does not believe in trans ideology, but does believe in a lot of the progressive culture, meshing cultures together. I have someone I work with who is very progressive in his views for a multicultural future, but does not like the way that the general leftist sphere seems to be so hellbent on shutting down everyone who disagrees with them, and truly believes that actual discourse about different ways to solve a problem are important to finding an actual way to solve the problem. And so in my own personal experience, I know there are people who sit on the left side of politics that don't have this craziness to them. So I don't want to misrepresent and just paint with a wide brush that everyone over there is evil. But I do want to point out that this concept of no truth, no justice does seem to lean in that direction of sort of a more left versus right issue. The leftists have this idea of their own personal truth, which comes from the concept of having, your own life and your own experience is more important than the broader experience of people in general. And you're thinking more with your emotion and where you're coming from and how you feel about something, rather than thinking in terms of there's a lot of people and we all sort of have to live together and we have to figure out rules and boundaries to make sure everyone can live in peace with one another. And sometimes certain groups of people can't agree on a boundary, and so you just have to keep them separated. It is what it is. It's not meant to be dark or evil or oppressive. It's just meant to be that you can't always get what you want. Some people can't live together. On an individual level, that's true sometimes. And on a grander cultural level, I'm sure that's true with some cultures. I think we see that in the modern situation right now that we're dealing with, but more to the point of they believe there's not a singular truth, but that every person lives out their own individual truth. The problem with that is that when you tell people that their existence and their experience is truth, no matter what else anyone else says, the thing is, we kind of assume that, well, then that means everyone else is telling lies. But in a world where you want to say it's my truth, and my truth is my own individual thing, at the end of the day, that truth is your opinion, your experience. It's not actually like an objective truth of reality. It can't be, because it's your own personal situation. And so I think a lot of the problem philosophically and ideologically from the left is that they project that as though it is an objective truth and not a subjective personal truth, and then they try to force everyone else to adhere to it. And I do think that that idea of we will have no truth definitely lends to that. We will have no justice. I'm not sure on that one. I feel like the concept of justice is a little more subjective than the concept of truth, in the sense of the concept of truth I just talked about. I mean, there is an objective truth and there is objective justice, just so we're clear that those things do exist. But what I mean in terms of like looking at individual people and how they view justice, that I feel like there's more room for subjective interpretation on justice, because people are going to look at a situation and feel like you're probably going to feel like what you want is what's just in most situations. Not all. There are people who definitely know that they are propagating an evil, but most normal everyday people, when they sit in a situation and they're wronged or they experience something that hurt them or made them feel bad, they're going to feel like, well, getting back at that person or getting my feelings back or rebalancing myself by striking back at what hurt me, that's justice. And it's not always. Even when you think it's justice, even when you feel it's justice, it's not always justice to do that. And that's the closest concept I can think of to like the idea of we'll have no justice, is people saying that the objective version of justice is not what they consider justice, therefore they think it is not justice and they will not have it.
There is no way you can.
Of course, this is a dig at Hassan for shock collaring his dog. I'm going to say something that probably is going to get me in some trouble here. I have had dogs and I have had shock collars before. My dad bought a shock collar for our dog at one point when we had a yellow Labrador retriever, and I can see where shock collars can be useful, but I can also see where shock collars become a problem. So our dog specifically had a personality that was very classic dumb dog, doesn't understand what's happening around them, just very happy, always wants the, whatever the thing is, completely a slave to instinct, does not think at all about changing behavior. And no matter how much we tried to teach her to change behavior, it just never worked. It just never did. So one of the things we tried to do with that is my dad bought her a shock collar, because she would start barking in the middle of the night or in the morning, and it would wake everyone up, and it was so annoying, we didn't want it. So, one day we put the shock collar on her, and the first day it seemed like it was fine. She barked a couple times, realized that she got shocked and didn't do anything. And then in the morning when she started barking, we started hearing her go like, bark, yip, bark, yip, bark, yip. And this just kept going and going. And so after like a couple minutes of this, my dad got up, went downstairs, took the bark collar off, and was like, can't do that. It's cruel to do that. Because basically it wasn't even just bark, yip. It was she barked and then she yipped because it zapped her. And then the yip was enough to set it off again. And so she just kept yipping because it kept zapping her. And she could, like, the dog obviously can't understand, like, why am I being hurt for responding to pain? It doesn't understand that that's what's going on. It just keeps yipping because that's its instinct. So my dad had to go remove the collar, just be like, we can't do this. It's too inhumane. If she's like, she literally can't fathom not doing this, so we have to just live with it. So that's my take on bark collars. I can see for a dog that has a more muted personality, doesn't bark as much, but maybe has like one or two instances where they're really annoying, putting a bark collar on a dog like that might be okay. If it's a more intelligent dog, it might come up with understanding that, oh, okay, if I bark, I'm going to get zapped. They don't want me to bark. I shouldn't bark. But I have no idea what the breed of dog. I know it's like the most expensive breed of dog in the world. I don't remember the name of it that Hassan has. But also, while I did not see the video, I do know that most people view it as very cruel. But that's my own personal experiences with shock collars and like how I view them. I think they could be fine, but it's going to depend on the dog. And if your dog's a dumb dog like the one I had, then it's not humane, and it's very cruel because they can't understand why they need to stop barking. They can't fathom a world where barking barking is a problem. So it is what it is. From what I understand, the way Hassan did this was very cruel. I did not see the video myself. Full disclosure, I did not see the video myself. I don't know. I don't watch Hassan. I don't know what he did that came off as cruel, but apparently he was very cruel to Kaya.
In this, we will see who holds the power as I look down from my tower.
We will see who holds the power as I look down from my tower. That strikes me as just general like Twitter freaks. Like there's sort of this, I hold myself up as the moral high ground to everything else, and I look down at you because you don't agree with my policies and ideologies. How dare you? And it's stupid. At the end of the day, it's just dumb.
We will protect the
Right, so we're going to go back. This is Asmongold. Like I said earlier, Asmongold and Powder already exist in this world as hunters prior to the wizard showing up. So this is Asmongold. You could tell because he's got the roach antenna on his helmet.
protect the innocent. We will protect our freedom.
And this is Powder. She's the white-haired elf. I love the sort of crystal ice powers they give her in this. I don't know if she has that. It's interesting because she has white and blue here and a lot of blue powers, but Powder has a very purple design normally. Like she has a lot of purple in her design.
This is the end of the
I'm more inclined to think that the Powder powers are ice because it shatters. And in We Make Dreams Together, the crystals didn't really break like that, which is one of the things that led me to believe that they were crystals, not ice. This character, Hirako, that's her name. So this character, Hirako, he explained to me that the idea was this chick was kind of supposed to be more the face character of this series because he didn't really want himself to be the lead face character so much. He wanted to have a character that would have a better, like, put up a better face to, like, the public and represent more of a general, like, megaman fan base or group fan base people, and not just him being an important character in the story, but rather she was supposed to be more the main character. But this has shifted and changed because he became the focal point of reaction to these videos, which resulted in him needing to sort of change where Hirako sat in the story. So she's kind of become a primary side character.
we will fight.
And of course we have Phoenix. Oh, I love this spike, by the way. This is giving me, kind of has the same color scheme as the Beautiful Joe guy. Phoenix has such a cool design. By the way, like this flaming, the flaming wings and all this design is so cool.
Cost our lives, we will fight to
Like, look
stop
at,
the suffering.
honest to God, look at these flying shots. Like,
The suffering.
just look at these flying shots, dude. It's so good.
Free, like
Based and free.
everyone should be.
Based and free like everyone should be. I missed the lyrics there. Hold on, I'm gonna go back a bit.
Our lives, we will fight to stop the suffering. Based and free, like everyone.
Oh, they stand free. My bad. I said based and free before. That's also good, but they stand free like everyone should be. Yes, that's a very good place to put it. I think his idea of freedom for this is more stemming from the idea that you shouldn't suppress what another person uses to do things. So the anti-AI crowd is very like, the concept is AI is generally an evil and no one should use it. It's evil because it takes away people's jobs. It's evil because it affects the environment negatively. It's evil because of all the tertiary issues that come out of it. And what Penguin is arguing for here is it's not evil, it's a tool, it's a thing. There are effects that it has. We can figure out how to mitigate those effects. We don't have to have the bad side of it. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't disallow people from using the things that lets them express themselves. Let people be free to do as they please. That's in this context, let people be free to express themselves in the way they find best to express themselves. That's the idea, and that's how it should be.
One should be.
Love these ice powers. As much as I hate seeing Powder get panned here, I have to admit that this move is actually really cool, just grabbing the head and slamming it to the ground.
We have tried our best. We have tried to fight them all. They are stronger than we thought. At least we bought some time.
They are stronger than we thought. At least we bought some time. We have tried our best. We have tried to fight them all. This sounds like it's coming from maybe a little while back. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think the reality is they're just due to the natural course of what's happening. They're not going to win this in the end. But they are trying. They are actively trying. And if we don't do anything, they will. If we don't do anything to stop it, all it takes for evil men to win is for good men to do nothing. Keep that in mind. So keep doing good things. It does seem like they're invincible sometimes, but they're not. They're not.
We see a new face who says he comes from across time and space.
See, he really looks like real fake wizard. He really does. But I don't know who this is. Penguin, who is this? This gotta be someone you guys know, right? This isn't the obsidian elf, right? Because he's white. The obsidian elf is like actually obsidian black. Like, who is this? I don't know. He's gotta be someone. I cannot imagine this being a generic for a group of people. This has to be someone, because what this happens in the story is as the hunters are being defeated by the Mavericks, this guy shows up and says, "It's not over. I move through different dimensions. I move through time and space, and I know people from other realities who are facing similar problems to you and have perfected a means to fight it. I will bring them here and they will help you defeat it here." Like, this guy is clearly against what the Mavericks are doing, and so that's in that sense he brings aid from other worlds he's been where they maybe defeated their Mavericks to help defeat these Mavericks. I mean, obviously in the real world we haven't defeated the Mavericks yet, but that's sort of what the feeling is that this guy gives off. And I have to imagine that that's emblematic of someone for you in Phoenix who introduced you to the world of Skybrows and Skybrows, or introduced you to the AI world or something, and showed you a way to fight back against what you were seeing as a problem. This has to be someone, an individual. It can't, there's no way I can imagine this being just like a emblematic of a group of people. This has to be someone. So I'm just really curious who it is.
Time and space, more people appear, ready to
So we have Kirsch, and yes, so Kirsch hits Cancel Pig with her pineapple mace. So we don't see Cancel Pig after that point. So I have to assume that she slammed him through the floor into a facility beneath the road, because otherwise where he started in the next video doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this is Kirsch. So Kirsch is the pineapple swinging bitch mentioned at the beginning of the next video.
go and fully geared, wanting to help us resist.
Who is this? We've got Fox/cat tail and fox or cat ears. So I know Kirsch showed up, right? So this must be Miatzu. I don't know this person. That is not what I wanted. I don't know this person. New tab. So who is this? This looks like they're probably a full-blown VTuber. Yes. So she does reacts, it looks like. I'm done with the Sonic community. Oh, I think I saw this. I think I might have seen this one, because I remember there was a thing about someone talking about the Sonic community being like really, really toxic because it's been pretty much completely taken over by trans ideologues. It looks like she mostly does reacts. She's a VTuber who does primarily react content. So same vein as me. She reacts to a lot of stuff though. She doesn't just react to the AI stuff. I really want to start reacting to more stuff than AI stuff. When I get this laptop and I can start editing on my downtime at work instead of having to do all my editing in the few hours I have at home, I'm going to be able to have more time to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, she seems pretty cool. Go check her out.
I guess heroes will always
This is what was the name? Arana we're just gonna look at it. All right, we're just gonna look at it. Ella Ray. This is Ella Ray. We looked at her last time, so I'll keep this brief, but that's who this is. This is Ella Ray. And then this, of course, is Leaflet. I feel like Leaflet definitely needs no introduction. She's one of the really big names in the right-wing AI sphere, and she's made some AI music videos of her own. She recently made a whole AI VTuber program, which hopefully in the not too distant future I'll be able to make use of, and we can stop having this little PNG that just bounces when I talk, and I'll actually have a moving character, once I can figure that out. I'll probably have to use it through RFab. I'm not sure how to use it the other way, but we'll get there. Hopefully in the not too distant future I can do that. So that's who these folks are. And then okay, Chibi's right here. I just straight up missed his ass in the last watch through. I'm so sorry. So Rev says Desu here and Chibi here. Rev is sort of a drama tuber. He covers a lot of drama between the leftist cancel culture outcry stuff and their reactions to mostly VTubers. It's mostly like VTuber drama. And then I don't really know much about Chibi reviews. I remember there was a controversy. I remember there was something about people really didn't like him for a little while. And I remember that sort of the thing that brought him back. This is me from the outside looking in. So I can't say if he was always okay with sort of the more right-wing VTuber culture group. Because what I remember is that Chibi Reviews was sort of a reactor or drama person, something like that, before he got into some kind of big controversy that I don't remember. A lot of people started hating him. What I remember bringing him back to like the fold from my perspective, bringing him back to where he's viewed more positively than negative in the sphere that I'm in, is his brother died at some point and his girlfriend like completely betrayed him in one of the worst ways possible. And just there was a crowd of people who were like, even if we don't like some of the stuff you've done, I can empathize with what you're going through. I understand what you're going through and I feel for this terrible situation you're in. And there was another group of people who was like, serves you right for all the bad you did. I'm gonna go piss on your brother's grave. And like, it was just really bad. And so what ended up happening eventually was that group that said, I can understand where you're coming from, said, you know what, we're just going to defend this guy. It is completely unacceptable the way these other people are treating him. He is at the most down and out, darkest hour in his entire existence. And he's already that far down. That's not the point where you kick him. That's the point where you reach out a hand and say, let's stand back up and let's do better going forward. Like that's the point where you say, like, because it's less important that I talk about your ideology and how you feel about things. It's so much more important in that position to just show love to the person who's in pain. And then as they sort of recover from that worst position they've ever been in, then you can kind of move. And it's not really like you directly argue with them. It's more like they will see how you are and that the way you are led you to be willing to do that for them. And most people will want to emulate that at some level because they'd rather be the person who does that than the person who kicks you while you're down. So that's sort of my take from what I understand of the Chibi Review situation.
We left that group behind so we could finish the fight.
We left that group behind so we could... Oh, he's talking about the other world, the other worlders.
We do this right, man.
Man, I don't like heights is just sort of thrown in there in the middle of it. Like, it has no actual, like, message. We're just climbing a tower. That's so random, bro. I love... Okay, this is a nice touch, right? This is such a nice touch. He says, are you brave enough to be prepared? Does he have the lyrics? He does not. So he says here something like, are you brave enough to be prepared? And as he's saying be prepared, he zooms in on Asmongold. That's such a nice touch because before Asmongold was like this culture war guru character, he was a World of Warcraft streamer. And a lot of people watch World of Warcraft streams from him. That's how he got big, was through World of Warcraft. And one of the earliest big boy bad guys in World of Warcraft, his whole thing was, you are not prepared. So I love that touch. Very, very beautiful touch, Penguin.
Now try not to get ensnared. Let's be sure to save the dog.
Let's be short, save the dog. Again, this kind of, it's not really like a statement anymore. Like, we're just telling the story now, which is very funny because we've like hard shifted from talking about sort of the issue with the cancel crowd to just, here's the story of how we beat Hasigma. We will protect the innocent. We will protect the innocent. We will protect... I didn't catch it. I gotta go back.
This is the end. Let's be we'll protect our freedom.
We'll protect our freedom. Okay, it was something like that, I knew.
This is the end of the line. We will fight, even if it costs our lives. We will fight to stop the suffering.
I do want to say something in the moment. We will fight even though it costs our lives. That's nice to say, but I'm gonna say I think a lot of people aren't really at that level yet. We're too comfortable. We say things like we'll fight even though it costs our lives. In this story, obviously they're doing that, but in reality, I don't think most people are ready for that, but I do think that's coming eventually. I don't know if it'll be soon. It might be another 10, 20 years, but I do think that's coming eventually. The reason a lot of this problem takes so long to take root in the US is because we're so giant that if an area becomes bad for you, there's so many options of places to go, and there's so much space in America, like you can't really conquer it very easily.
Based and free.
They stand free. I think it might be based and free. It sounds like it says based and free.
End of the line. We will fight, even if it costs our lives. We will fight to stop the suffering.
Also, installing freedom is great. What is this guy, Shadow?
Based and
And then we have, oh, is it Nux coming in? Is that the idea? Damn, Nux just came in. Nux, honestly, to be honest, Hassan and Nux are like at the most odds. Like they are the most head clashy in the entire sphere of people. Nux is straight up a Jew, and Hassan is straight up an Ishmaelite. Like that is at the end of the day, that's what it is. Hassan, I don't think he's Pakistani. I don't think he's Palestinian. I think he's Arab, or he's of Arab descent. Might not be correct. Even though I don't like this guy, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want to misrepresent what he is. I think it's very important to be accurate, but I don't actually know what his sort of bloodline comes from. So I'll just be honest about that. To me, I know it is a Middle Eastern group, but I don't know for sure which group. If it's Arabs, if it's Yemen, if it's Lebanon, I don't know. But I do know that they're diametrically, ideologically, and politically opposed to Judaism in general, and Nux is Jewish. He is Ishmaelite of some kind. I want to be clear, I'm not using Ishmaelite in this case in any derogatory term. Many of the peoples of the Middle East are descendant of Ishmael and Abraham, and so I'm using that as a term because I don't know which one specifically he is. He is of the Ishmaelites in general.
free, like everyone should be.
I love that the dog, just the robot breaks apart and has a real dog inside of it. Crazy. When did Nux get superpowers, by the way? I have no idea.
We'll stop them, whatever it takes.
I'm not gonna lie though, this I'm curious, is this something that happens to Sigma at some point in the Mega Man games, the skull thing? Because it makes sense from a robotics perspective, right? We're going back so I can see. From a robotics perspective, this makes sense. It's very sort of Terminator-y, where he looked like a person because he had like fake skin and stuff grafted onto him. But at this point, they've destroyed that facade. So it would make sense that underneath that facade, you have a very skull-shaped form underneath it to sort of hold up that very human-looking false flesh that they have on these. And it would make sense if this was something that is true with Reploids in the Mega Man universe as well, that if you actually strip back the sort of human looking parts of them, many of them have this sort of skull look underneath. So I'm curious if this ever happens to Sigma in the games, because I didn't really play the X games so much. I played more the classic Mega Man games, and those characters are way more like robot. Like most of them don't have as much flesh face. Rock does, obviously, but most of them don't. That's kind of like all the powers coming together to make one super beam. Very similar to the big Kamehameha in the next video. So Hassan or Hasigma just disintegrates.
Even though those strange new heroes have went home, we know we are.
Wait a minute. So we have the heroes going home. These two, I think, want to stay. The wizard's having an argument with them. They are not happy.
We are not on our own.
Oh, so they gave her fox ears and tail. Okay, so this is a fox then, I would assume. You know, now that I think about it, it has to be. I must have been dumb earlier because this is very much a foxtail and not a cattail. Cattails are kind of sort of lean. They're more like Pseudo-Gray's tail is a cattail. So this is the bushy tail is more a fox thing.
As long as heroes exist, we will never truly be alone. They also gave us foxtails, much to our delight. Wherever they
I love how he says they gave us foxtails, but only the one character actually got a foxtail.
go, we know they will continue the fight.
It's so crazy to me. Hold on. We'll pull that up. It's so crazy to me that Asmongold Powder and Skybrows are baked into their Hunter universe, their Hunter Maverick universe inherently. They don't come from another reality. They are part of the Hunters. And everyone else comes from different realities. I don't have a problem with that because my character's backdrop is that I am in a library that floats in the space between spaces, much like the wizard who travels through time and space. My universe is one where I can see all the other universes as like glass orbs around me and I can enter whichever one I want, basically. So, you know, my character wouldn't be in someone else's universe in the first place. But I do think it's interesting. I wonder where the demarcation line is, where like Asmongold and Powder are big streamers and they're part of the universe. But like Kirsch and Leaflet are also big streamers, but they're from other universes. I suppose for Leaflet it makes sense because she comes from her own Angel Sword universe. But I don't know about Kirsch. Does Kirsch have lore? If Kirsch has lore, let me know. I want to see the Kirsch lore video. So, this was really good though. I'm surprised that this 4-minute video has me yapping almost as long as the 7-minute video last week did. This one has a bit of a different vibe to it. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more on the nose about not being able to beat everybody initially, and a little bit more on the nose about characters and ideology a little bit. But, yeah, I hope I was able to mostly stay faithful to that idea of AI versus anti-AI. I know there were a couple places where I diverged from that. I did so on purpose. But yeah, I want to see more. I want to see where this goes after Making Dreams Together. So this is absolutely the prequel or the first video. It's funny to me that I did not catch that Kirsch is the pineapple swinging bitch. In my Making Dreams Together video, in the edit, I put words up on the screen that say, "This sounds like something Banana Juju would do." Obviously not. So crazy to me that I got it that wrong. This was really, really good though, Penguin. I enjoyed it immensely. I'm very interested because like your actual world seems very, very interesting to me. I kind of want to keep watching this because of the lore. You're very similar to Lady Wasabi and her Red Veil lore in that this is more than just music videos. There is an actual world and lore behind the world and a story being told in that world. And I want to continue watching and see that, much like I want to continue watching Louisverse videos to see where that goes in the future. But it has a very different vibe. Louisverse is very dark and gritty and like dystopic in a lot of ways. And sort of there's a sort of sense of how people are dealing with loss and displacement. Like the people who are in the Red Veil are not people who are in good places in their lives. Your videos have a way more positive turn. Like there is bad stuff happening, but there is a hope. There is a way to fight back. There is a future in which this evil doesn't win. And so you have a very hopeful message all around. It more of that like, I know the real heroes are out there. As long as they're out there, they're fighting good. We'll never be alone. More of that like, as long as I have my friends by my side, you can never defeat me, energy that was in the Making Dreams Together video. And I really enjoy that because I think that sort of energy is really missing from our our sort of AI brosphere, our AI art brosphere. A lot of it is much more dark and gingy. This is a perfect duo of videos that was just like super positive in the recording session today, because before this one, I watched I Am Psychro, which is also like just a super positive bop. You know, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying seeing this more positive side. I'm really enjoying that because there's a lot of negative out there. It's one of the reasons I don't talk on Twitter a lot. I mean, I say stuff, but I have to be in the mood. Anyway, this was really good, Penguin. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait to see the We Don't Care video. I imagine that doesn't slide neatly into this timeline. It's probably its own separate thing. So I will treat it as such. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was really good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you for making it. It was fun to watch. I can't wait to see where you go with this world and this lore. It seems incredibly fun, and I'll be there to watch more when you make more. I'll see about the We Don't Care probably next week. So have a good one. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say about this, my curious scholars. So until next time, bye-bye.